Hello, we are Rojo on tour. We hope you like our episode. Enjoy!
So, good morning. It is a bright and sunshiny day.
Morning, yes, it's bright and shiny.
We are today in the south of Holland and we're going to the place Thorn. It's famous because of the white houses. So I hope you enjoy what we see in Thorn.
As we discovered by driving through this part of the Netherlands, we found out that the way of building houses in this part is quite different than we are used to be in the middle of the Netherlands. In front of us we see a church. This is Mechelen in Belgium. From Belgium we drove back into the Netherlands again. From the roads we went on an unpaved road and there we saw a vineyard. In the southern part of the Netherlands you see them more often because of the climate change. I can tell you a little secret. I was not used to drive on unpaved roads, but this was the first time I drove an unpaved road with our bus and it was fun to do. Next time I will do it again, but I'm not sure if I do it when it is very dirty and wet. But time will tell. After making the next turn, we didn't expect to see such a large harbor at the Maas with a lot of yachts. It was nice to see in the autumn sun. We like it to take small roads, not just the highway. And by doing this, you see a lot of small roads and beautiful lanes with all the autumn colors also during this time of the year. And then we entered Thorn. Thorn, the whitewashed stone city. And this is a remembrance stone of the end of the Second World War and the liberation of Thorn. Thorn is a town in the Dutch province of Limburg. It lies on the rivers Maas and Witbeek. It's known as the White Village, for its whitewashed brick houses in the center of the town, as I told you before. It got its rights at 1292. First, the region of Thorn was a swamp nearby the Roman road between Maastricht and Nijmegen, but the region had been drained and about 975 Bishop Ansfried of Utrecht founded a Benedictine nunnery. This monastery developed since the 12th century into a secular stift or convent. The principal of the stift was the abbess. She was assisted by a chapter of at most 20 ladies of the highest nobility. Previously, the abbess and the chapter were adorned with religious tasks, but since the 12th century they served secular matters and formed the government of a truly sovereign miniature principality, the smallest independent state in the German Holy Roman Empire. After we drove by car, we went on foot through the village of Thorn. As you can see, all the white houses. This is the Forman Abbey building, what is nowadays a restaurant which is closed because of COVID. In the background you see the Abbey Church. This was a Forman water mill. The house is still there, the water, but the mill is gone. This statue is in honor to all the musicians who were born and raised in Thorn. Thorn is famous because of all his musicians. Behind an old entrance of the city, there you can see these old houses. Abbey Church, closed for public because of COVID-19 rules. The flip side of this COVID rules is that there are more visitors and tourists in cities like this because of closing of the borders in Europe and also of the Netherlands. More than 800 years was Thorn the capital of a mini-kingdom. As told before, started the history of Thorn during the 10th century. In the 18th century, they had a very special position during the German Empire. During that time, they had a special place in the Rijksdag, the government of Germany, and had their own justifying system and their own mini-army and even their own coins. This all ended at the year 1794, when the French took over. Shortly after that, they sold the palace, buildings and properties of the Stift. Only the Abbey Church and a few buildings were saved, while the others were demolished. The typical white color of the village is originated during the time of the French domination. The French had a plan to ask for tax depending on the size of the windows in the house. Much of the poor inhabitants of Thorn started bricklaying all large part of the windows as reaction on this. To cover the signs of poverty a little bit, they started to paint the houses white on the outside. The little white houses in the historical center of the village are nowadays a protected city view. The oldest part of the Stift Church or Abbey Church is from the 10th century. During the restoration, in the period of 1860 to 1885, the west part of the church got a lot of changes. At the end of the 13th century, the Roman Church is changed to a Gothic cross basilica. From this period are the crypt, the midship and the aisles, both sides of the chapel. The side chapels on both sides are from the 15th century. So the church got a lot of changes during the ages.